Welcome back to One Consciousness. This week, both of my horses have got messages for us. So what we're looking at here is with our animals, you'll find as the intensity is rising, which it is rising off the scale, off the charts at the moment in a rocket type of fashion. Watch your animals, watch nature. You'll notice your animals are probably watching you a lot at the moment, watching you intently. And just notice when they're doing that and how you're feeling when they are doing that, because they pick up on all our emotions and our feelings, and when our nervous systems are getting out of balance, which many of ours might be at the moment with everything that's going on, both the external side of things and the internal side is having a massive impact on our nervous systems. So be aware when you feel your animals behaving maybe out of character and watching you in the way they are. Just go within and think, how am I feeling right now? Am I calm? Am I balanced? Am I centered? And any other measure that you use for yourself to know whether you're calm and in tune at that moment is really, really important at the moment. The fact that both of my horses have come in with a message this week feels really significant to me in the patterns of how I see them, almost in a relay, as you find in athletics, where one takes the baton and runs with it for a while, and then you go up to the next person, they take the baton, they run with it for a while. It's like that, lap after lap of this ascension process. And at the moment, with both of them coming in, it is very unusual. When you get to hear their messages this week, I think that will make more sense as to why they're both here, both looking at different sides of what is going on at the moment, but very much needing to bring those two aspects into harmony with each other. And that is their message this week as well, for us to bring all aspects of ourselves into harmony with each other, even though there's absolute chaos going on everywhere. So with that, I'm going to take you into the message from my horses for this week. As usual, at the beginning of their messages, they always send me a big vision initially to set the scene for the tone of what they're going to tell me next. So bear in mind when I tell you what this particular message is, that this applies to all of us, even though they're showing the vision to me in the way that they're trying to explain it. So what I'm feeling is shafts of light encoded streams coming into, not my crown this week actually, but into my heart and my soul from diagonally and vertically upward. I don't get any sense or message about where they're coming from, but what I can see is that my heart and soul very noticeably are drawing them in, almost expecting them, and then drawing them in and releasing them throughout all of my body. This is very different from the encoded light pillars that have been going into my crown in recent weeks, months, years. These light streams going into my heart and soul are more transparent and individual, but in lines of them. So it looks very similar to how we show and draw heavy rain, but it's very sparkly in nature. It's got a crystalline feel to it, and it's transcendent. That is the word I'm hearing from them now. It's transcendent. So I'm asking you now to feel and see, if you like, to this energy, these encoded light streams that are coming into our hearts and souls. This is really important now to feel these coming in. And wherever you can take rest, because it is tiring processing all of this upgraded, encoded energy, and it's important to rest as much as possible at the moment. Both of my horses are holding the space for the transformation now, as they have been doing all the way through. Both being in spirit world and in a different dimension. They are observing and also relaying the process to me. And one of my horses is saying that the illuminatory field has opened. And I ask her, what is the illuminatory field? So she says it's the path to new earth that is sending in the force field, which I believe is the illuminatory field, for the transformation of our souls, to change our being on a transcendent level now. This hasn't happened before, she says. This energy is new. So she's saying that this is to do with many things, but also the ionosphere, which is breaking up and being able to release these particles. The ionosphere had to break up at this point, which is another reason why we have so many earthquakes and volcanoes everywhere. Under the sea, earthquakes are intensely powerful in this process. I remember back to many, many months ago, before we started getting so many earthquakes underneath the seas in many, many different parts of the earth, that she was talking at the time about all this bubbling going on the water. And as the bubbling increased and increased and increased, she then went on to say that this is the earthquakes that are about to happen underneath the water. And that's what we're experiencing now, and particularly increasing over the last few months. So all these particles are being released from the earthquakes under the sea. All the bubbling coming up is then being released into the air, that then filtrates into the ionosphere and then are activating the intensity of what is going on at the moment. The momentum of these light encoded shifts into us at a soul level. When I ask her if we'll all be feeling this part of the awakening energetically that is happening now, she says, yes, absolutely. And what she's recommending is to work with your guides and help yourself and your soul to take you through this process, as it will be very individual for each of us. But still with common themes, she says. There is nothing to be scared of, and everything to be excited about. This vision she's showing me, it's like newly, freshly baked bread. When you rip that open and there's a plume of steam that comes out of it from every angle. So this, followed by an image of a treasure trove being bust open and all the treasure is in there. Keep this image very, very close to you at the moment. The freshly baked bread being broken open and all the steam coming out of it. This is all the energy being released that doesn't need to be there anymore. Things that can weigh it down. And all the treasure in the treasure trove. This is so important to keep this in your hearts and in your soul, of the treasure that's about to come. And has always been here with us, but actually to come into our awareness. This powerful process has allowed us to purge what we no longer need. Plus, integrate the codes we do need for our entry into New Earth. So sit tight, she's saying. This now has the energy of the rocket rising. Figuratively, I think she's talking about. But this rocket rising type of energy, we are right in the thick of the ascension process, right in the middle of it now. And it's important to see that this energy is rising and gaining momentum all the time, as a rocket does when it gets all the impetus and the momentum to actually shoot up into space. She's also asking us to relax, even with this rocket rising energy going on. Feel the lightness, she says, coming over your physical body. It will start to feel lighter energetically in a way you may not recognize and haven't felt before. Go with it and feel safe in the process of transformation. There is so much happening energetically in so many of the dimensions. It's hard to see all the vision that she's showing me now. It seems to be like a collage of visions of all these different dimensions that are all overlapping as one after the other appears in front of me to be seen. But then she's showing me them all merging into one another. And she's talked before about this merging of all the dimensions that's happening at the moment. And this feels very symbolic. I'm feeling somewhat detached from them all at the moment, which is perfect, she says, absolutely perfect. You don't need to get involved in all of this with the dimensions merging. This is part of what the universe is doing. It's just for us to observe and understand. So she's saying to take a step back and concentrate now on your own soul's transcendence. Go with it and remain centered throughout. And if it helps to feel the sense of oneness from the universe and the unity from all of the animals and nature surrounding you, be with your animals, be with nature, or you can also call them in energetically. It's all fine, and they're all here to help in this process with us. Those of you with animals may well feel them watching you intently now, as I've mentioned. And being maybe overly protective of you, you might feel as well. So I hope this video today helps to make some sense of why that is happening. So be in joy, she says, with this process. And understand that we are moving to a better place now. For some reason she says kingdom there. I'm sure that will become clear at a further point. So my other horse comes in now, and for her she's saying hold fast in this transformation. Be very careful with how you are feeling mentally and emotionally too. You could feel mood swings in a detrimental way, which often happens in times of intense change. As you understand this process to a certain extent, then hopefully you can keep yourself in check, knowing that it is a large part of this transformation which we've never seen before as humanity. And many emotions are being released at this point. Both toxic and also joyousness. Many are outdated now. This feels as though they will be released along with our egos. And thank God for that. Release now along with our egos and those emotions that were attached to those egos, she says. This is such a wide-scale change, and that is the absolute understatement of the year, of the century, of the eons of humanity. Take care of yourselves, I hear, and find peace and solace where you can go within and just be and hold space for all these changes. They're happening anyway, whether we're tuning into them or not. As sure as the air we breathe, our bodies know exactly what they are doing. Our souls hold the ancient knowledge of all times, which is why they are so accepting of this energy now and welcoming it all in. So I hope the horses will explain more about the type and process of this energy in future video transmissions. Thank you for watching.